Got a question from Richie. Richie says this: I work in a physiotherapy rehab clinic. Myself and one of the physios were having a discussion. Oh my God, this is already frightening me. The other day about how to train people who haven't had any training at all and are very skinny and weak. I would like to know what you think about getting them stronger in terms of rep ranges. Not talking about rehabbing them, just general strength training. That's actually, it's an interesting question in this day and age, because when I was young, nearly every book, weightlifting book, and they're here and they're over there and they're all throughout my little library in there, most of the books assumed that you were a beginner. And I still think that what I learned from my first weightlifting book, written by Ted Williams with the Sears barbell, you probably want to do, a nice mix of exercises. Pick them up off the ground, put them over your head, carry them. Let's say a total of 9 exercises. And in the beginning, maybe like 2 sets of 5. Nothing crazy. He recommended cleans, 2 sets of 5. He recommended clean and press, 2 sets of 5. Back squat, where you're on your toes, which is the way people seem to have done it a lot. But everything was pretty simple, and curls were always in there. And he had we used to always make our own benches back in the day. So to get the weight on your chest, you had to do the pull over and then bench press. And, the best way to do it, I'm seeing already, you're already moving here. You asked this: would the standard 5 sets of 5 work for someone who is very weak, or should we perhaps train them in the 4 sets of 10 to 12? Never 4 sets. Well, the only thing I would say about, by the way, and there's nothing wrong with 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 12. There's nothing wrong with any of those numbers. But the idea is it's got to be 3 days a week. It's got to be basically the same movements, and you're going to practice. The whole book, Easy Strength, is based on this. We take a simple beginner's template and give it to an advanced athlete. The advanced athlete then gets stronger and performs better. It's funny how that happens. I know there are variables to account for and exceptions, but should we get them used to lifting with lighter weights but slightly higher reps, or stick them straight on what is a challenging 5 sets of 5, 3 by 8? There has to be a certain level of mastery. My only concern about 8s, 12s is that the load has to stay so low you might not actually get the feel for what things feel like. The example on that would be a clean. Until a man cleans, a male cleans about over 200 pounds, they can get away with a fast deadlift, jump, reverse curl. But once it gets over 2, then they actually have to start learning the tempo, the timing, and that boom of a power clean. So going too light might teach lessons that aren't true. Also, too, one thing I've seen in a lot of gyms when people are going too light, when they do something like a bench press, they'll have their shoulders here, and they'll kind of do like a, ugly rowing bench press. Well, any kind of load at all will pin those shoulders, into that nice packed position. I think anything you do is going to work. If you do it 3 days a week, you repeat the same exercises for a while, maybe up to 6 weeks. Intelligently and gently add load. You add load when it feels light, and many people will say it feels light. Strive for good. For example, on a bench press, the bar should touch the chest. On squats, you should, the knees and hips should bend at some level, not what I see in some gyms. There are men in North America who squat without bending their knees or hips. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but not by much. Very good question. There's, you make a good point. There's not a lot of books out there anymore that focus on beginners. There really isn't. If you go through my work, look for the Southwood program. If you're a member, you can pull it right off the site. It's right there. And or you can just go to my danjohn.net, and that's my traditional beginners program. Hope that helped.